again, and thank you for your time here. I would like to share an article on communism, with is just like we are living through in our modern day, given aesthetic communism, socialism, Luciferianism, nihilism, totalitarianism. This is an article on the daring 1965 bishop's letter that enraged communists and helped heal a wounded Europe. And this is from Victor Gaetan on November 17th, 2025. I believe this was also National Catholic Register. Okay. Signed by 36 Polish bishops at the Second Vatican Council, the letter sought to break cycles of vengeance by embracing the gospel's mandate to forgiveness. And it shows a picture here of the three of them together. The Polish bishop's letter was authored by Archbishop Boleslaw Komenik of Krakow, sitting in 1906 next to Archbishop Karol Wojtyła of Krakow on the left, who reviewed and edited versions of the letter. Silesian Archbishop Antonio Barniak of Poznan, shown on the right. Ideologies divide, generating war, death, and mass resettlement of people. In Soviet-occupied Poland, Catholic bishops sought reconciliation with their German brethren through an invitation in which the truth resounds like a drum resonating through the psyche. The document is a letter signed by 36 Polish bishops on November 18, 1965, inviting German bishops to join a millennial celebration, marking 1,000 years of Christianity in Poland, a birthday for church and nation to be held May 3, 1966, at the Jasna Monastery, home of the Black Madonna of Częstochowa. The letter was one of 56 distributed by the Polish delegation to other national episcopates attending the final session of the Second Vatican Council. But the one to German bishops is an exquisite example of how Christianity dares to challenge sin by proposing an escape from political cycles of blame and retribution, as crystallized in its most famous sentence, "We forgive and we ask for forgiveness." Yet it provoked the regime's wrath at the time, especially fierce anti-Catholic propaganda from Polish communist authorities. Each of the 56 letters described by the Polish bishops to episcopates attending the Second Vatican Council's final session were bound with a cover showing Our Lady of Częstochowa, a miraculous icon associated with Polish history for over 600 years. The letter remains so meaningful that Polish and German bishops and public officials from both countries will meet this November 18th in Wrocław, Poland, to celebrate Mass together, salute the letter's author, Wrocław's Archbishop Boleslaw Komenik from 1903 to 1974, and view Reconciliation for Europe on exhibit at the Archdiocese Museum. An international academic conference on the letter's 60th anniversary will convene on November 19th at Wrocław's Pontifical Faculty of Theology, featuring experts from around the world. Crucial context. Before highlighting the letter's exceptional content, three historical factors should be recalled. First, it was the German invasion of Poland, September 1st, 1939, which kicked off World War II. Adolf Hitler announced he was responding to attacks from Poland and that Germans living in Poland were in jeopardy. Both claims were fabricated. Hitler wanted more land and considered Poles to be inferior beings. This invasion triggered Britain and France's military engagement because they had pledged to defend Poland against Germany. Hitler was confident that bishops would defeat Poland because he had signed a secret pact, the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, with the Soviet Union in August of 1939, agreeing to split Poland and to divide Eastern Europe into German and Soviet spheres of influence. Indeed, the Soviet military attacked Poland on its eastern border September 17th. Unable to defend against both forces, Poland surrendered on October 6th. The brutality was horrific. The Nazis murdered 65,000 Poles in the last 3 months of 1939. The map depicts territorial changes implemented in 1945 that forcibly displaced millions of Polish and German people. The border changes were decided by American, British, and Soviet allies at Yalta in February of 1945 and Potsdam in July 1945. Second, the conclusion of World War II, the victorious allies, the U.S., Great Britain, Soviet Union, met in February in 1945 at the Yalta Conference and decided to withdraw the borders between Poland and Germany, as well as between Poland and the Soviet Union. The same three powers met at the Potsdam Conference in July to August 1945 and finalized the Poland-German border along the Oder and Neisse rivers, stretching north from the Baltic Sea to Czechoslovakia in the south. It was a traumatizing decision for millions of Germans who were forced to resettle, pushed out of their homes just because they were suddenly located in Poland. At the same time, about 1.3 million Polish and/or Ukrainian citizens were forcibly repatriated from former Polish territory on the country's eastern border awarded to the Soviet Union. Relevant to the letter's story, Breslau, Germany, became Wrocław, Poland, as a result of the new national lines. Thousands of Poles who lived in Lviv in Ukraine today, which was located in southeast Poland, were forcibly moved to Wrocław because Lviv was given to Moscow. Soviet troops remained on Polish soil and only left at the end of the Cold War. Third, the letter was drafted and circulated in Rome. The circumstance allowed numerous Polish bishops to consult with each other on the approach towards other episcopates, and for Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski, Primate of Poland, 1948 to 1981, to discuss the millennial event with bishops from around the world, including the Germans. Poland's episcopal delegation met with Pope Paul VI on November 13, 1965. To the Pope's right is Polish Primate Cardinal Stefan Wyszynski, and 4 men to the Pope's right in black and pink in Krakow's Archbishop Karol Wojtyła. Although unknown today compared to his peers, especially compared to Cardinal Wyszynski in Krakow's Archbishop Karol Wojtyła, Archbishop Komanek served as Wrocław's apostolic administrator at the time, was distinctly suited to draft the sensitive invitation. Born to a Polish mining family in Silesia, which was then part of the German Empire, he grew up in 2 cultures, speaking both Polish and German. He emerged as an expert on complexities around the post-war border and an advisor to Cardinal Wyszynski. Archbishop Komanek broke through nationalistic thinking, notes Wojciech Kucharski, deputy director at the Zaginia History Center and church historian speaking to the register via Zoom. Fruit of the Vatican II. To remind latter recipients of Poland's origin, Archbishop Komanek traced the nation's story to 966 when Meszko I, influenced by a Catholic wife, became Poland's first ruler to receive the sacrament of baptism and to have the whole court baptized. Many centuries of fruitful Polish-German cooperation followed, but the history lesson culminates in World War II, described as an act of total destruction and annihilation. Germans, too, suffered in concentration camps, the text acknowledges. Archbishops Bolsha Kamenek, Karol Wojtyła, and Antoni Barniak and Cardinal Wyszynski at a millennial event in Krakow in 1966. The Polish bishops then point to the example of the Second Vatican Council as modeling the best course of action. Despite the situation, almost hopelessly burdened with the past, we appeal to you now, Reverend Brethren. Let us keep trying to forget. We do not want any polemics, any Cold War, but just the beginning of a dialogue pursued also by the Council and Pope Paul VI. If there is goodwill at both sides, and there is undoubtedly, a serious dialogue is definitely possible and can bear positive fruit with time despite everything. Then, with the reiteration of the invitation, the Poles suggest that German participation will truly make the celebration a worthy Christian event. In this most Christian but also very humane spirit, we extend our hands to you, sitting on the benches of the ending council. We forgive and ask for forgiveness. Only if you, German bishops and council fathers, grasp our hands held out to you in a gesture of brotherhood, will we be able to celebrate our millennium in the most Christian way and in peace. In the letter, we find a catalog of values, explained Kucharski. Truth, because we cannot hide the bad moments of history and must acknowledge inquiry. Dialogue, because it restores the ability to see another's humanity. And forgiveness, a deeply Christian ideal that entails consciously choosing love over vengeance. It was sent by a nation of victims, which shows that through Christianity you can think in another way, observed Kucharski. Disappointing response? A reply from the German bishops came less than 3 weeks later, signed by 42 prelates. They expressed emotion and joy regarding the eloquent invitation and pledged to continue the dialogue initiated by their Polish peers. The reply acknowledged the tragic wartime events and the difficulty of restoring trust. Terrible things have been done to the Polish people by Germans and in the name of the German people. We know that we must bear the consequences of the war, which are also difficult for our country. It is also accepted the moving offer of mutual forgiveness. With fraternal reverence, we grasp the offered hands. May the God of peace grant us, through the intercession of Regina Pacis, that never again may the evil spirit of hatred part our hands. The German reply to the Polish invitation reads, "To our venerable brothers, bishops of Poland, from the bishops of Germany in Latin calligraphy," according to University of Maryland historian Peter Kozicki, writing in Church Life Journal. The Polish bishops were disappointed that the Germans did not explicitly affirm the new border between Poland and Germany or confirm Polish jurisdiction over the diocese in that territory. Most disturbing, Kozicki explains, the Polish communist government reacted with fury to the appeal for reconciliation because it saw the bishops as meddling in foreign relations. Communist General Secretary Władysław Gomulka launched a propaganda campaign against the Catholic Church and mounted a secular millennial celebration for the state to revival the Church's plans. Gomulka also refused to allow Pope Paul VI into Poland for the 1966 festivities as had been planned. However, there were immediate positive repercussions from the Polish bishops' initiative. According to Kucharski, 500,000 people gathered for Mass at the shrine of Czestochowa as part of the Church's millennial program. When Primate Wyszynski proclaimed, "We should forgive our oppressors," the people responded, "We forgive, we forgive." It meant that something had changed in Polish society because every family experienced something terrible in the war, and everybody considered themselves victims, explained Kucharski. The Church changed those hearts. And thank you once again for your time. Have a nice day.